What's up everyone, I'm Deviant Cringe, and ladies and gentlemen, today I got some really awesome news. It's something that a lot of us have been hoping and of course very much expecting to happen, so yeah. It looks like Ubisoft's profits are down a staggering 94%, 93.8 actually, but you know, it's just semantics, so yeah. It's really amazing, and of course Ubisoft only has themselves to blame because they have been jumping on the bandwagon of making same old stuff and, you know, looking at only short-term profits through microtransactions, so yeah. With that being said, let's get into this. It says Ubisoft surprised the servers last week when they announced that they will be delaying pretty much their entire slate of upcoming games, Watch Dogs Legion, Doom, Gods and Monsters, and Rainbow Six Quarantine, joining the already delayed Skull and Bones, all of which will now arrive either in the back half of 2020 or early 2021. The reason Ubisoft gave was they wanted to make sure each title lived up to its potential, and they seemed particularly jarred by the overt failure of their big fall game Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which dramatically underperformed both physically and financially. Oh boy. Well, that is very true. Ghost Recon Breakpoint was just absolutely terrible. There was no improvement, you know, from the previous one, and the entire game was basically just bereft of any interesting content, which is why Ubisoft deliberately filled it up with these so-called time saver microtransactions. Basically microtransactions that allow you to boost your XP in a single player game, so you can you know, basically just rush through the game faster, because that's pretty much what they're saying, you know. As soon as a company starts implementing these time savers, they basically are just telling you that, hey, our game is boring as hell and we spend no effort into making it, so yeah, rush through it as fast as possible. Today Ubisoft is reporting their first half of the 2019 to 2020 earnings. Their headline is that they're being held back by a strong back catalog, should give you some indication on how things went this period, and now we're actually gonna take a look at this this lovely financial report, and it is truly a thing of beauty, ladies and gentlemen. So here it is, and oh my god, this is just I'm basically just getting so hard, you know, looking at this right now. This is just so beautiful. If anyone was basically doubtful about the power of the free market, here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Here you go in black and white, pure as day. Just absolutely gorgeous. So reported change percentage versus H1 2018 to 2020. Look at that, non-IFRS operating income minus 93.8%. A work of art, ladies and gentlemen. And I gotta say, I am so proud of this community because we are doing exactly what we're supposed to do. We're voting with our wallets, and at the end of the day, it's the consumer that has all of the power, because we are the ones that are keeping these fat cat corporations in power. And these companies actually have only two choices when they start experiencing stuff like this. The first one is they either want to listen to the consumer and do exactly what they want, you know, give the people what they want and all that, give something that's actually worth their money, or they can just keep doing the same thing and just keep going down and down, straight down to bankruptcies. And below that we have some games that have been mentioned, of course. Over here we have Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which says the second quarter saw a further acceleration of the already sharp increase delivered in the first quarter of terms of daily player engagement, PRI, and sell-through compared with Assassin's Creed Origins last year. Below that we have Rainbow Six Siege, which is touting record high MAUs and higher PRI in Q2 versus Q2 of 2018 to 2019. Over 50 million registered players, that is pretty huge. And in esports, a 27% increase in numbers viewed for the Rainbow Six Major Relay. I think that's a French word, I can't pronounce that. Yeah, Rainbow Six Siege, I definitely have nothing but praise to say for that game. It's really awesome. It launched pretty badly, but it resurged very quickly, and they definitely did put a lot of effort into that game. It's basically the game that Counter-Strike wishes it was. So yeah, hopefully they continue making games, you know, like Rainbow Six Siege. Not exactly like that, but in terms of quality, you get what I'm saying. It also says strong growth for PC, led notably by Uplay, and operating income affected by impairment charges recorded for Ghost Recon Breakpoint. That is awesome. So there you go, that's pretty much the financial report. Again, if you want to look at it yourself, there's a lot more to it. So you can click the link in the description, it'll take you to this article, and yeah, you can go take a look at the entire financial report yourself. But yeah, this is basically the gist of it. But the funny thing is, the Division 2 is not even mentioned in this financial report right here. I wonder why, which is also something that the article talks about. It says, Ubisoft touts record high players for Rainbow Six Siege, it's a never-ending success story, and Solid numbers for Assassin's Creed Odyssey well after launch. The entire 13-page laundry list of facts and figures. There's no mention of The Division 2 or its attempts at ongoing monetization. Again, I wonder why. Ongoing monetization. I wonder why it's not mentioned. Ghost Recon Breakpoint is highlighted only as an explanation for the operating income impairment, which is down a massive 93.8% over year. Net bookings are down 11.4% over the same period, with Q2 sales down 9% over last year. Absolutely beautiful. Ubisoft is predicting a rather vacant Q3 as well, as it does not have any major releases beside Ghost Recon in early October. And then things like Stadia and a version of AC Odyssey of Division as last Castle update. As such, Ubisoft is forecasting Q3 income to be down 32% over last year. Absolutely amazing. And with the upcoming delays expected to follow, a few quarters to be simply empty, with nothing truly major launching until the second half of 2020, closer to the new console generation. I hope they learned a lesson from this one, because it's about high time that these big corporations get what's coming to them. Previously, Ubisoft has been praised for a number of success stories, including the miraculous endless growth of Rainbow Six Siege and the revitalization of the Assassin's Creed franchise with Origins Odyssey, but they are still trying to ride on those success stories, with the newer entries making less of a splash. The Division 2 was fine, but has not cultivated the explosive sales and sprawling fanbase of the rival loot shooters like Destiny and Borderlands. I wonder why. Ghost Recon Breakpoint was always a bad call for the signature fall release, as a sequel no one was asking for, with no real improvements over Wildlands, or even changes to the worst of many aspects. That is so goddamn true. Like I said, it absolutely had no difference, compared to the original, no improvements whatsoever. In fact, I even think it's more boring than Wildlands, to be totally honest. It's unclear where Ubisoft goes immediately from here, even when its slate of upcoming releases arrive after their delays. Gods and Monsters is an untested IP. Rainbow Six Quarantine is an interesting idea, but there's no reason to assume it will emulate Siege's success. Watch Dogs has always been a franchise on a knife's edge for Ubisoft. The reason why that is because of Ubisoft's own ineptitude and, of course, the doctored trailers and tailor-made gameplay demos for E3, but yeah, they don't want to mention that, now do they? And there are some concerns. Legion's central play as anyone concept could fall flat, and at this point I feel like we've been talking about Skull and Bones for so long that it will frankly be amazing if it ever comes out, and it's only half the power game that Assassin's Creed Black Flag fans wanted in the first place. There are supposedly 2 more AAA games coming out in the 2020 to 2021 fiscal year, presumably an Assassin's Creed and a Far Cry. Although no details have been known about either yet, Ubisoft would be wise to make a new AC game a next-generation staple for consoles at launch, which may happen with the rumored Viking-based title, which hasn't been unveiled yet. To be totally honest, folks, if Ubisoft is going to make a new Assassin's Creed and a new Far Cry, I think it will be no different than the previous ones. Ubisoft has always been stuck in this huge rut of making like the same old games until Backlash is big enough that they actually start changing things. Yeah, I'm not saying that Far Cry 5 or like the previous Assassin's Creed was bad in any way, but yeah, to be totally honest, they really didn't feel all that groundbreaking. And the article actually ends off on a pretty hilarious note. Like, this statement from the CEO himself is pretty much the embodiment of the whole "it's fine" meme. And get this, it says, quote, "Ubisoft's prospects are particularly promising. Our numerous growth vectors going forward include the arrival of our next-generation consoles, opening up to the Asian market in our partnership with Tencent." Oh yes, I'm sure we all love Tencent, do we, ladies and gentlemen? "For launching our franchises on mobile. All of these are strong value creation drivers for the medium term." So yeah, and of course, no mention of any downfalls that the company's having. Obviously, the CEO is going to do something like this to soften the blow to any PR, PR nightmares and all that. But I do gotta say that he definitely is feeling the pressure under his ass, and hopefully other corporations will soon follow suit. Like I said, I'm real proud of this community. We're doing what we're supposed to do. Keep voting with your wallet and stick it to the man in this instance, the AAA corporations and all that. So yeah, hope this continues. Hope this trend affects other companies as well, not just in their profits but also in the stocks. Ubisoft stock has also been down a pretty decent margin, so I gotta say everything is going pretty well as of now, and I am super happy for that, and I hope you are all as well. Anyway, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the bell icon, and if you wish to support Pain and Pay page, link is in the description below. And as always, I'm Demon Cringe, and I'll be seeing you guys else in the next video.